No, yeah, wait. You're starting to freak me out. Thank you. All I can say is it must have been a really shitty winter. This is more than I can handle. But it is always good to be back in Minneapolis, you know. But I've got to say that, to be honest, you're more excited to see me than I've ever been to see myself. This is a fun evening for you. I have to live with this shit every moment, and it's fucking exhausting. You know, every morning I get up and stumble into the bathroom and brush my teeth, and eventually I have the courage to open my eyes and look in the mirror and I go, fuck! You again? Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to warn those of you in the crowd this evening that have really never seen my comedy. Because this could be a long night for you. I know that you're out there. You sneak in. You've had friends of yours who said, hey, come along. This will really be a lot of fun. You just may need to find new friends. And I'm sure there's a website where you can do that. Then, of course, there's those of you who've seen me on YouTube and on any Comedy Central, any of the things that are out there that you can catch me on, and you think from those bits and pieces you know my comedy, and you don't. Finally, of course, there are those of you who read the paper or saw somewhere that a comedian was coming to the State Theater, and wouldn't that be a fun night out? You're fucked. Another way I could put this is that I was recently performing in Wendover, Nevada. I can tell by your stunned silence you don't even know what I'm talking about. There really is a city. It's called Wendover. Yes, it's in Nevada. How did you miss it? And it takes an entertainer with a lot of courage to end up in Wendover. I like to perform in places that nobody in their right fucking mind would go to. And I love Wendover. And the reason you haven't heard of it is because it's a shithole. No, you know a place is a shithole when the people who live there have nicknamed the place. So you say, great to be in Wendover, and they go, no, bend over. It's truly in one of my top 3 places to kill yourself. If you're thinking of suicide, you may want to hop about 6 planes to get there tomorrow. And what you will see is 7 casinos, trailer parks as far as the eye can see. No foliage anywhere. And you will take a good look around and realize that there's nothing to distract you from your mission. You'll hop right to it. Or it may work to your advantage. You'll take a look around and go, wow, I thought my life was shitty. Wendover is located right, and I mean right smack dab on the border of Utah. Now, why would they build 7 casinos on the border of Utah? Who lives there? Mormons and people in the witness protection program. So they built it so that Mormons could sneak in to gamble, and I saw them as night was falling coming over the hills in their covered wagons. If you're looking for a newspaper that you can read every day and feel absolutely great when you finish it, it's the Wendover Times. It has no news. None. I don't even know why they call it a newspaper. It just should be called paper. Or El Papel, if you will. They had a picture of me on the front page. I guess to warn the good people of Wendover that a Jew had arrived in town. And so there might be sarcasm in the area. They said about my comedy that he is known for his comedy style, which often includes mental breakdowns. That's certainly a press clipping you want to send home to Mom. Who were they trying to attract to the theater? The clinically insane? Someone who's been locked up for years because they have 16 personalities? They get a copy of the Wendover Times. Look who's coming to town. Louis Black, he's a piece of shit. I've never liked that son of a bitch. Hey, everybody calm down. I think it's time for lunch. That argument can go on for weeks. So, if at any point during my act, I pull out a kazoo and shove it up my ass and begin playing the Star-Spangled Banner, you have nothing to worry about. It's all just a part of my act. I had a revelation Christmas before last. It occurred when a terrorist got on a plane with explosives strapped around his dick. And his mission was to blow up Detroit. I was waiting. Some of you didn't seem to get that was the punchline. I mean, he'd have been hard-pressed to find a building left to blow up. It's unbelievable to me. I wondered for a long time, why Detroit? And it was just recently revealed that he was planning on going to Houston or Chicago, but that the ticket to Detroit was cheaper. As frightening as that was, just as frightening was what occurred right afterwards. It occurs whenever there's a terrorist threat or attack, the TSA, Homeland Security has a breakdown. It's the debate that goes on between the Democrats and the Republicans over which party is better equipped to protect us, the American people, from terrorism. If you truly believe that your party, after all that has transpired, that you believe that your party is better equipped than the other party to protect us from terrorism, then you, and I'm saying this as a friend, are fucking delusional! There's nothing to be debated, okay? You better fucking get that now. If you don't get this, if you don't realize that both parties have a vested interest in keeping us, the American people, alive, then you've missed the point. They need us to keep living so those idiots will have someone to fucking talk to. Because if we die, they will only have themselves to talk to, and then they will die. What has to happen when something like that occurs is that both parties have to then go off together and discuss what needs to be done. If they really desperately need to debate, then each party should pick someone to tell us which of them has the better nipples. We don't have time for that debate. Why? Because we Americans have shit to do. Look, the reason I know that neither party is better equipped than the other party in terms of protecting us is because both parties were to blame for what happened on that day. And how do I know that? Because of and now I'm going to say a word that's going to come as a shock to you. I know it because of a fact. That's a word you never hear. Democrats and Republicans believe that what they tell you about the fact is actually the fact itself. And it isn't a fucking fact! The fact is that both parties were to blame because neither parties, in the 8.5 years from 9/11, were capable of getting the list of names of all of the terrorists and the would-be terrorists to all of the airports in the world. They just couldn't do it. I don't think you understand how long 8.5 years really is, do you? Imagine if your child came back from college and then spent the next 8.5 years with you. It would even feel like 20, wouldn't it? 8.5 years. Meanwhile, during that time, cell phone companies were capable of turning my cell phone into a fucking television set! But the Democrats and the Republicans couldn't get it out. They just couldn't get it done. It was too hard. Makes me squeeze my pee-pee. That's how hard it was. What did the fuckers run out of Mimeo paper? There was nobody around to collate? 8.5 years ago, I could have gotten a barge and taken it to the harbor of New York City where I live, and in that barge, I could have filled it up with donkeys, stem to stern, packed with donkeys, and on the back of each and every donkey would be a list of the names of all the terrorists, or would-be terrorists, and I could have pushed that barge away from shore. And I believe that in that 8.5 years, one of those donkeys, just by accident, would have stumbled into an airport somewhere. The other reason that I know that both parties were to blame is because neither the Democrats nor the Republicans or anyone that we have hired whose job it is on a daily basis to come up with scenarios over what a terrorist might do, that nobody Nobody within the borders of the United States at any time had the thought that there would be a terrorist with explosives strapped around his dick and that he would try to blow up Detroit. Maybe the homeless guy on my block who wears aluminum foil on his head in order to protect himself from electromagnetic waves, and who among us can blame him for that? Maybe on his rounds he stopped at a fire hydrant and went, you know, I have it on good authority that there's a terrorist with explosives strapped around his dick, and he's gonna blow up Detroit. Don't tell anybody.